So 5 games down in this first set. Potentially looking tricky for Rafa and Jamie to come back on this. Frankie's prediction was that Tom and Nick are looking in real top form at the minute, and just from watching that short spell. But as we've seen throughout this tournament, anything can happen. As players fatigue and get tired and decision making becomes harder. Nice play from Jamie Appleton. Tom, always there, seems to be in the right place at the right time in this game. A lot more skill to it than that, but he's just mopping up anything that comes his way, and nothing's quite getting past. Even with all that skill and that placement from Jamie Appleton that's looks so impressive. Five love, and it's Rafa Vega on the serve. It's 5-1 to Tom and Nick. Such a display of power there from Jamie Appleton, but again, Tom in the right place. There's mad volleys going on at such pace, and such good reaction times and agility from all these players. It just seems like Rafa and Jamie have stepped it up a little bit, being a bit more aggressive. Really nicely followed from Jamie Appleton. And again, just Rafa seeming to find that glass a little bit too often for his liking. And you can see some of the frustration coming through. Tom Farquharson on the serve. Really good atmosphere here, building for the men's final as we could possibly be in the last game of this first set. And that's credit to the venue here at Rocket Padel in Ilford. They've really set this up with a fantastic viewing area. It's really comfortable seating and a dual height platform, allowing people to get the best view and fostering that level of support from people that is so important in padel, and what so many people champion as one of the amazing things about the sport, the community aspect, the support that you get from other players. A load of players who've potentially been knocked out the last couple of days have stuck around to watch this final. We've got members of the GB squad coming and supporting their teammates, and know that plenty of people are watching and listening in as well. And they're just having a bit of a discussion here, Rafa and Jamie, taking on some fluids and having a bit of a rest while they maybe ponder what's going to happen in the second set. How they bring it back to really compete against the duo of Tom and Nick that seem on such good form and are eager to get back onto the court. There you can see supporters here at Rocket Padel in Ilford. See if you can spot some familiar faces out there. We've got Victoria Nichols, who'll be competing in the women's final just after the men. So we're back in the second set, and a good start, better start there for Rafa and Jamie, winning that first game. And now the side close to the camera, Nick Hatchett serving this match. The culmination of a draw of 64 that have entered this weekend, starting nice and early at 8:30 a.m. yesterday, getting through many matches before reaching this stage. Lucky to have so many courts here at Roker Padel in Ilford, indoor and outdoor. And over 150 players entered in total this weekend into the men's, women's and mixed tournaments. Another game to Rafa and Jamie. They've worked something out during that break in the first set. Maybe just a bit of placement, how they find the gaps in this really solid pairing of Tom and Nick. Really well followed by Jamie in the corner. And he just didn't quite get to it, Rafa. Almost looked like he crossed over his feet slightly. Just couldn't get the power on it to bring it up, but there's a bit of energy back in them. And they're raring in the second set. Nicely controlled. Tom coming across the court, switching sides with his opponent. A really great shot from Rafa. Just at the feet of Nick. It's another game for Jamie and Rafa. Oh, and it just skipped the net, but really well recovered from Rafa there. And so unlucky on that cross court. So quick to get to the back glass as well, and reacting. It's been an exciting men's final on the court, but also very exciting off it, as we've joined some of the GB men's team in the commentary box, and another familiar face as well, Nico Mahinja, who's now sat next to me watching this final unfold. Now we had Louis and we had Frankie in the box, and now you. So I want to get your opinion first and foremost on, you know, Tom and Nick pretty ran away with that first set, but it really looks like something stepped up with Rafa and Jamie in this second set. What do you think they spoke about in that break? What's given them more energy?
Well, I think the first set was an extremely dominant display by Tom and Nick. Tom taking real charge. He's putting pressure on Rafa on the cross court and not really allowing Rafa to play his normal style. So the first set was really, really dominant from them two. But now Rafa and Jamie seem to be getting a foothold, getting back into it.
Beautiful through the legs.
That's a great shot by Rafa there. But yeah, I think they've just got to slow it down a little bit, Rafa and Jamie. I know Tom and Nick, it's a new partnership. It's actually working really well, in my opinion, and as you can see. So yeah, it's going to be a good second set.
Rafa will be pleased with that through the leg shot, surely. And what do you think? You said there, Tom might have gone in trying to stop Rafa playing his usual game. What will he actually be trying to do visually to stop? What does Rafa's game look like on a really good day, and what's he maybe not being able to do in this match that you would normally expect?
So I think Rafa prefers to have a little bit more time to create something, but when it comes to speed and precision, I don't think there's anyone that beats Tom on the circuit. So Tom, when he's volleying and his movement,
he's so quick,
second to none. So I think Tom just making sure that he's implementing that really takes it away from Rafa. But yeah, it's definitely it's a closer second set now, but everyone's playing really well, so it's a really good watch, and there's quite a few people watching as well, which is great.
It's a great atmosphere here, isn't it, as well? And you've been all over the place playing and training, and what's the last couple of months looked like for you in competition, and how's intense has it all been?
Well, I've recently just got back from Seville from playing in an international tournament, a FIP, so that was a really good experience, and now off to South Africa with the paddle school, Sandy and Tom, so that would be really good fun. Just growing the sport everywhere and competing. It's a really exciting time for paddle. As you can see, everyone's getting involved and wanting it to grow. So yeah, it's tournaments like this that are run so fantastically well that will help grow the game.
Get some credit there from the boss, hey?
Right, let's see what Rafa and Jamie can do here. If Rafa can bring out the Spanish flair.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of flair, I must say. Some of the best from Theo Garton, watching him throughout this tournament. I don't know if you've seen him play recently, but our jaws were on the floor going, it's so exciting to watch when it's hand back, over the head, through
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Theo and Cam, they're both youngsters coming through, and they're both playing extremely well. Got some great wins this year, and they're definitely, I'd say, one of the most improved pairs. So it's exciting to watch them coming through, and they're both working hard and very talented. So it's nice to see. There's Rafa again.
There he is. You said he was going to bring out the Spanish flair, and maybe he heard you through the glass. And is there any up and coming juniors? We've seen quite a lot of them play in this tournament. We had Ben Campione, we've had Liam Delamere as well, watching his sister just get through to the final. And is there anyone that you've got your eye on that you think, give it 4 or 5 years and they'll be dominating this GB paddle scene?
There's a few people, I think. Firstly, you've got Cam and Luke Gomez, the paddle twins from Guernsey. They're training extremely hard out in Spain and really taking it very seriously. I think they're going to be a fantastic duo, and I know how hard they're working. And other than them two, I think Stan Hunt, he's a youngster, 16.
He was playing in here yesterday as well.
He's fantastic, great attitude as well. So I think, the future of paddle is really bright, and let's see what it holds.
It's exciting. We'll be sat here in a couple of years' time, and it'll be Stan and the paddle twins playing against each other.
Exactly, and I'll be like, I told you. So it'll be good. It'll be really good. All competing for GB hopefully very soon. See that
Jamie's almost off the floor when he's hitting that down, isn't he?
But I think that's what's been working for Tom and Nick. They're pushing Jamie back to hit that Bandeka on the line, and then playing back down to his feet and then retaining the net. That's quite an important part. Not forcing yourself to take the net as quick as you can, but creating it.
Tom on the serve, making it really difficult in that corner for Jamie to return.
I think with Tom's volley's been, in my opinion, the strongest part of his game. It's extremely tough to get out of this first kind of serve and return. So Tom does a really good execution of a strong serve, strong first volley, and that's something hard to get out of.
And how would, if you were Rafa or Jamie at the minute, how do you combat that when, especially when Tom's serving, you kind of already have the upper hand, right, in that area?
I think if you're able to slow the ball down on the return, not giving them the pace to hit off, or taking your time between, so giving Tom perhaps a bit more time to think about the serve, or playing it into a position that's not directly on his forehand or backhand, perhaps to the body or a bit higher to his backhand. It's extremely tough to do, especially when the serve's coming at the pace it is. But yeah, it's tricky, but I know Rafa and Jamie definitely have the level to do that, so let's see.
Yeah, maybe they're discussing it right now in terms of this is what we've got to do to prevent Tom from doing that, and kind of get that idea that there's a lot in these kind of tournaments where it's actually so dependent on who you're playing, around how you change your game, and actually a lot more tactical than us watching realise from the sidelines. All these little bits that they're discussing in between the points is how to give them the upper hand, how to work out which opponent to send it to, how to get them moving around.
Absolutely, yeah. Padel's not a strength game by any means, otherwise I wouldn't even be playing the sport. But it's all very tactical, putting it in a position where your opponent can't attack the ball. So yeah, it's extremely strategic.
And one of the things we've maybe seen a little bit with this particular type of venue, and especially in the UK, there's quite a lot of these indoor venues that don't necessarily have the highest ceilings in the world, right? And a couple of points yesterday where the ball was touching the ceiling. Do you think it changes people's game very much depending on whether they're indoors or outdoors and what they're used to?
Absolutely. So this is quite a slow court where perhaps it doesn't favour the smasher, so it'd be a bit better for me, for example. But and if you go to somewhere like Whetstone in Totteridge, where the ceiling is extremely high and the ball bounces a lot more, so someone like Tom, who has a very strong smash, that is a fantastic court for him. He actually beat me a couple of weeks ago there, so that's a court that suits him very well.
Okay.
But it seems to be any court suiting him at the moment, so he's playing very well.
Just so well rounded at the minute that unstoppable it seems in this game. And we'll get a score update to those listening in just a few moments' time. So much power behind that. Right, him and Nick, they seem to be working really well, communicating well together. How do you think, if you're competing together quite new, is that maybe sometimes a bit of an advantage if you're just going off what the other person's doing and not getting too bogged down in what's happened before?
Yeah, sure, there's definitely advantages and disadvantages, but this is golden point here as well, so we'll just see what happens here. It's quite a big point.
Well managed there by Jamie.
Well played to get the break there, but yeah.
So coming into this next game, the score in this second set is 3-2 to Tom. and Nick. They won the first set 6-1. We'll be looking to keep their serve here, not let Rafa and Jamie get the break. It's really great to have had a few members of the GB men's squad that are consistently playing at such a high level come and offer their expertise on the match taking place. You really start to get even more of an insight watching these players, how quick they have to think on their feet and so tactical, especially understanding that the court and makes such a difference to the style of play and what might favour one player on one surface or one court might not another, and they have to adapt accordingly. Makes you appreciate the skill even more at this level. Closer in this second set then between Tom and Nick and Rafa and Jamie. Tom opting for a slightly slower serve there. Just what Nico was talking to us about on the stream. In terms of players switching up their serves depending on how much time they want to give themselves, how much and what kind of shot they would like the opposition to react with. I've seen the prominence of Tom's volley, trying to play to that perhaps, getting to the net quickly, and building the point. Rafa on the serve. Well managed. Good follow. Right neck into the corner. Rafa. Jamie switching places on court. Well played with the Chiquita from Tom. Those Chiquitas aim to just clear the net and drop at the feet of the player. Point of them really forcing the opponents to hit the ball at a height below the net, leaving them with no real option apart from to hit the ball into the air. Makes it easy for the next shot to be put away as a smash to win the point. Doesn't look like one of the fanciest shots out there on the court, but it takes a lot of skill to execute that. The right amount of power just to dip it below the net.
Excuse me.
And keep on the front foot. And this is a fantastic rally between these two pairings. Really well followed from Rafa, and down he goes. Oh, and really fantastic work from Rafa with the cross court.
See you later. Take care.
5-4 in this second set to Tom and Nick. It's a much closer second set, this one. between the two pairs. And some really, really great support out there at this venue. It's great to see some of the other members of the GB team as well, and some that haven't even been playing this weekend to come along to support. Maybe even picking up a couple of tips and tricks for the next time they play against these guys. And it's a good start for Tom and Nick. 15-love. Nick Hatchett serving. $15 all. Nick, it was right, the speed of Tom getting around the court. So impressive to watch. Really close game here though. In the second set seen it's much longer, much more competitive rallies than we saw in the first, and it's Nick Hatchett serving. Score in this game, 15-30. Nicely worked from Rafa. $15-40. Both pairs here just buying some time regaining the control, and there he is with the Portres over the side to win the point. And I mind it, might be thinking why the players necessarily aren't running out the court to try and return those. Normally, if they're in out of court at the side, some tournaments when there's space outside the courts and it's safe to do so, players will run out and return them, and they can. But in this venue, and just because there's spectators on the side and courts close by, that won't be allowed here. So if it does go out, that's the point one. Just a bit of discussion going on here. I think it's whether Tom touched the ball or not with his racket before it went past to Nick. Rafa's saying it did touch. Looks like we'll be playing the point. Common courtesy, we're just replaying the point here then. It's such a crucial time. So it is Rafa and Jamie taking that game 5-all in this second set. It was a crucial moment when the momentum could have taken Tom and Nick to win the match. But it won't be the case just yet. More fight from Rafa and Jamie. More to give, I'm sure of it, as it's Jamie Appleton serving. Such a good volley we've seen time and time again from Tom Farquharson. The communication between Rafa and Jamie. Thought from the crowd there it might have hit the glass, and it just did on that one. What a fantastic rally. And the crowd here know it as well, cheering them on.
Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Love 30. $15.40. And just long, he knew it. Rafa knew it as soon as he hit that. See it in his face, it was long. And that takes score in this second set, 6-5 to Tom and Nick. They're one set up currently. And a reminder, in this tournament, it goes to a championship tie break if it's drawn after 2 sets, rather than the third set, which means it's first to 10 points if it's a draw. And now it'll be interesting to see what Rafa and Jamie are going to come out with here. Can they make it 6-all? Or will Tom and Nick take the second set and be our champions here today at this Grade 2 Padel Tournaments UK at Rocket Padel in Ilford? Let us know what you think in the comments if you're tuning in. If you've only just joined us, we're in our midst of our men's final for this weekend. On the far end, Nick Hatchett, Tom Farquharson, our third seeds in this competition, playing Rafa Vega and Jamie Appleton, the fifth seeded pair, and a pair full of experience. Rafa, former LTA #1. And all players really highly ranked on the men's doubles scene, understandably, given the quality of the paddle that we're seeing. Oh, really well returned there from Jamie Eccleton, straight down the middle. He knew by now that Tom was going to come to the net aggressively and just found the sweet spot. Good communication from the pair at the far end. It's match point. Well returned there from Jamie, but it is Tom and Nick. You can see the joy on their faces. You can hear the crowd clapping, and what a fantastic way to end that set. They win the men's final, Tom and Nick, 6-1, 7-5. Commiserations go to Rafa and Jamie, but so well played, especially in that second set, so much closer than the first, and they will be frustrated with that performance, not sticking around. But an achievement to come runners-up here in this tournament when faced with such quality across the board. They were such a joy to watch, as usual. Spoke to Nicol about seeing some of that Spanish flair in Rafa. And it was extremely exciting to see. You can see him congratulating there, Nicol Mahindra congratulating Tom and Nick. They were third seeded, but they have come out on top, and just a credit to them as a new pairing, getting used to them, working it out, how they're going to play with each other on court. And Tom stood out. He really did on court today. Just, it was everywhere. He was so quick to get around, so powerful, such good communication between the two of them, and a really solid win for them as our men's champions. And following on, the action doesn't stop here. We've got our women's finals. They'll start coming onto the court very shortly to warm up, and we'll be bringing you that action as well. The junior pairing, Rosie Quirk and Chloe Delamere. Really excited to watch them play. And they'll be taking on our top seeded in this competition, Alice Keddy and Victoria Nichols. And they've got such support behind them, Rosie and Chloe. And I'm sure they will be sticking around, if not louder than they were already in the semi-final, to build the atmosphere for that game. We're having a quick break now, but we'll be back for the ladies' final in just a few moments' time. Thanks for tuning in. Do let us know what you think of the stream. If you have any questions, any comments, I'll be back with you in just a few minutes for the ladies' final. So here we are. It's time for our women's final here at this Grade 2 tournament by Padel Tournaments UK. There we have a thrilling final ahead of us. Our top seeds, Alice Keddy and Victoria Nichols, taking on Chloe de la Mare and Rosie Quirk. Rosie and Chloe in the green. Played a fantastic semi-final, taking it to a championship tie-break earlier to make it through. They're such a joy to watch. So much energy, so much positivity out there. And they're facing some real experience today in Victoria and Alice. And Alice Keddy to serve to start the game. Really nice rally to start off this match. And the first point going to Chloe and Rosie. It's a good start for Rosie and Chloe, taking the first game in this first set. No break for them, they say. We'll get straight back on court. Keep the energy up. Chloe Delamere serving. Really well followed, unlucky. Right choice from there, with the boast off the back, just not quite executed to the level she would have liked. Really nice cross court there from Alice Keddy. And the game going to Alice and Victoria, 1-1 in this first set. Well evenly matched so far. Victoria Nicholas serving at this end. Most experienced player in the paddle world out this court. Key member of the GB squad at the minute, travelling to the Philippines next week to compete with Amy Gibson, GB number 1. Victoria currently sitting GB number 5, and that was such a good shot. She gave a real nod of, yep, appreciate the quality of that from Chloe Delamere right into the corner. Victoria's partner, Alice Keddy, fellow Roxane paddle player. Tennis background, switching into paddle as we know is common. Well managed by her there off the net. Good aggression from Victoria Nichols. And these low bounces off the glass are just testing Chloe and Rosie slightly. But it's really solid work to get them there from Victoria Nicholas. It's Victoria and Alice taking the second game in this first set. Score 2-1. We've spoken a lot about this young duo competing at such a high level already. Both of them recently also been out in Budapest representing Great Britain in the European Junior Championships. A lot of talk at the minute around the growth of junior paddle in the UK. pathways that need to be set up in order to foster those streams of talent coming through. And it's credit to the support these guys have from their family and their clubs to get to these tournaments, to get them to training as well. Good communication between these two. They've played together an awful lot. Really good sense of each other's strengths and where they're at on the court. Always supporting each other, you can see as they come together at this end. You're talking to each other now. Where's my serve going? Where do I need you to be for the return? Really lovely rally here going on both sides. And just long. Chloe de la Mer, and the game goes to Victoria and Alice, now 3-1 up in this first set. Alice Keddy serving. Chloe is so good. Left-handed player of the two. Just slicing it across the court. And watching it off the back glass. She looks so in control when that's happening, following it really nicely around the corner there. Now forward at the net, so close. In a really good position there at the net, unlucky coming off slightly to the left on the cage. So unlucky there for Chloe and Rosie, but the experience in Victoria and Alice is coming across, some real power when they choose to execute it, giving them a 4-1 lead in this first set in this women's final here at Rocket Padel in Ilford. Little giggle from Chloe Delabere there. It's really nice to see that the positive attitude that these guys have out on the court. And it comes across and translates really nicely into the feel of the game. It's Chloe Delabere serving. Game. Chloe and Rosie. 4-2 in this first set to Alice and Victoria. And it's GB's number 5 ranking Victoria Nicholas on the serve. Nice work on the volley from Alice Keddy. On such a good smash, right into the corner. Victoria Nicholas. She's so quick across the court and so much power. Her and Alice complement each other really well. Alice just finding again a couple of those cross-court shots onto the cage, which do make it really tricky to return. It's just unpredictable versus the glass. The players taking a break now, just catching their breath. Maybe catching up on a few more strategic bits about the game. 5-2 up are Alice and Victoria in this first set, as they make their way back onto the court.
5-2 Victoria.
And it will be Rosie Quirk to serve. Play from Victoria. Managed to just spit the duo down the middle there. Really nice placement. Really good control of the spin to keep it low off the bounce. It's nice patience of Alice Keddy Shot the quite trajectory. That lob there, catching the side. Good volley from Rosie Quirk. And again, into the corner. Such good play there. It's really nice from Rosie Quirk there, just forcing Alice Keddy to play the ball low. Well watched from Chloe Delamere. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite judge the bounce to bring it back up. Happened one or two times this match. I'm sure she'll be a little bit frustrated with that technique, but there she goes, not again. Perfect that time. And perfect positioning for the volley. So relaxed there. Brilliant reaction. And set for Alice and Victoria. 6-2. Back on court, both pairings looking nice and relaxed. Soaking up the atmosphere here in Rocket Padel Ilford. Some good support for both pairings, cheering them on. It's the culmination of competition over 2 days with the women's draw. 16 entries over yesterday and today, bringing it to this final. Well watched from Chloe Delamere. Alongside this today at this venue, we've also got the mixed doubles happening. And just before this game, we finished our men's draw with a thrilling final, seeing Tom Farquharson and Nick Hatchett take the victory. It's really exciting that prize money's up for grabs for the winners of all three of those, women's, men's and mixed. Starting to come into the scene more prize money in these kind of tournaments to encourage the top talent to come and play and for everyone to have higher stakes in their games as well. And there's LTA ranking points as well for each win, which helps the seeding for future tournaments. Really nice work from Alice Keddy into the corner. Chloe just not quite turning on it quick enough to get the ball as it bounced off the second glass. In the first game in the second set, to Alice Keddy and Victoria Nicholas, our top seeded pair this weekend.
Thanks guys, see you soon.
So well played from Chloe de la Mer with the power behind that shot. And Alice Kelly just got to it, somehow bouncing over the net and spinning in a slightly strange fashion that I don't think Chloe was quite prepared for. Just dropping at her feet unexpectedly. A really nice play there from Rosie. Understanding the gap and trying to push this experienced pair up to the net to then find a way through the middle of them. Maybe more evenly matched set this one's turning out to be so far. Really nicely chased down by Victoria. Dropping so close on the other side of the net. In the game, so Chloe de la Mer and Rosie Quirk taking this second set to 1-1. Really great power there from Victoria Nicholas. And unlucky from Chloe de la Mer. Victoria Nicholas on the serve. GB number 5, so much experience under her belt. And a win for them for that game in this second set. They're up 2-1. They took the first set 6-2. It's a much closer second set between these two pairs. Again, Rosie and Chloe straight out onto the court, no messing about for them. And they're ready for their service. It's Rosie Quirk to serve. Love 15. Good volley from Victoria Nicholas. Love 30. Great work from Chloe de la Mer. And so good back from Alice Cuddy. Off the cage again. She's so good at that shot. knows where to place it to make it really difficult. Well watched from Chloe. Great return. Really, really well worked from Chloe de la Mare. She watches it so well off the back glass and gets into good position to return. Rosie Quirk on the serve. Well worked. Really good play from Victoria Nicholas into the corner again. For them to take the game. Second set, 3-1. Alice Keddy on the serve. I know there's a big support contingent in Guernsey supporting Rosie and Chloe today. Game to Alice and Victoria. The second set. Alice and Victoria 4-1. Coming back out onto the court will be Chloe de la Mare on the serve. Unlucky for Alice Keddy on the volley, but really nicely placed there from Chloe de la Mare. Seems more in control from them, especially when they do have the serve, which is natural. Good into the corner from Rosie Quirk. And just couldn't get there, Victoria Nicholas. Good rally, great on the volley. And the boasts there from Alice Keddy. Haven't seen as much of them in this final as other matches. But a really useful shot to have in the bag if you are turned away and don't have time to get round, and just gives you a little bit more time to recover as well. Some players, I mean, speaking to over the last couple of days, seeing that was a bit more of a last resort of shots, but spectators love it, looks impressive. Real display of power. Victoria Nicholas on the serve. Nice work from Chloe Delamere, just scraping the net and going over. Real energy in this rally. Just catching Cage there on the side. It's a really complimentary pairing here between Victoria and Alice. Played together at Rocks Lane. And a relatively recent pairing coming together. Speaking to Nikhil Mahindra earlier in the men's final, saying it's not uncommon for pairs to switch quite a lot and can sometimes be an advantage. When you're working out who pairs best based on their strengths, and certainly one of Victoria Nicholas's strengths is that really powerful smash going over the side for the par 3. Called that, of course, the height of the side cage, 3 metres. Goes over the back, the par 4. You might have guessed, because the back is 4 metres high. Mm. 5-1 in this second set to Alice and Victoria, as it's Rosie Quirk to serve. Some really fantastic play from these two as well. They get more confident every time we watch them. You forget they're playing against people here who've been on the GB circuit for years, and I've also been playing for a long time in racket sports previous to that. They also beat in the semi-final. Such an experienced pairing in Sarah Lockery and Kerry White, who'd just been out representing Great Britain themselves in the seniors, in the Masters, and have played together a lot over the years and were so complimentary of this young pairing, being so quick and agile and unafraid out there on the court, not afraid to make mistakes and learn as they go. And they are not letting this one go easily at all to their opponents. Great volley from Chloe Delamere, such a forte for her, up close to that net. Second serve. Nicely brought down from Rosie Quirk, up at the net. Great volley. There's Chloe Delamere. Perfect shot into the corner past Victoria. There is. Alice Keddy on the serve on the far side. And there we have the final point played, and it is Alice Keddy and Victoria Nicholas, our top seeded pair in this women's draw, taking the win. Our champions here this weekend at the Grade 2, run by Padel Tournaments UK. A really strong performance there as well from Chloe Delamere and Rosie Quirk. Had such a good run throughout this tournament. Played some really challenging pairings and made it through those so well. And it's so exciting to see them just competing at this level and getting better each time we watch them. It's not quite enough today for Alice and Victoria. Their experience, club playing together, but also for Victoria's international experience, just made it difficult for that pairing to compete with them. But so much credit for making it this far. They thoroughly deserve it, and a real joy to watch. And we'll be having a presentation ceremony for both the men's and women's draw. They'll be getting their trophies and their prizes, which also will include a cash prize, as well as their trophies and their points ranking for the LTA. And there's been brilliant support for both of these teams throughout this final this afternoon. People who've played throughout the tournament stuck around to watch, and also from friends and family out there supporting, which you might just be able to see still on the stream. Such a brilliant following for both of these pairs and the community around them. Travelled far and wide to get here. And to everyone who's been supporting them as well on the broadcast. We've seen your messages coming through. And I'm sure they'll really appreciate it, as we have, ensuring that we're showing top quality coverage and making the tournament as accessible as it can be for people who can't make it in person. And also just broadening the awareness of paddle in general, having a stream. That's a lot thanks to Padel Tournaments UK founder Tama Michael, along with his team, the referee Jose Del Reo, and the man on the camera, Dargam Hamid, trying to bring you more of a show throughout the tournament. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Always looking to bring you more of the action, more of the excitement. Just stick with us. We'll be having the presentations for the winners very shortly. just now we wait for the presentations to take place for the men's and women's champions this weekend. We're just showing you some of the action from our mixed tournament. It's also been taking place alongside our men's and women's main draws.
Okay, so we're going to start with the comment.
So we'll be having now, back on court one, a presentation ceremony for the winners.
Yeah, can you hear me? Winston and Nicholas. No, what are Tom and Nicholas? Like, what are the players?
No, your mic on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. Bye.
¿Sois un resto de dos?
No, todavía no. Para trofeo.
Que puedo, pero...
So just bringing you some of the action from our mixed tournament, which have been taking place alongside our men's and women's draws while we just wait for the presentation ceremony to start. Congratulate our winners in our main draws.
Runner-ups women. No girls. Yeah, and there is no, because his friend left, so.
for.
So, coming onto the court now, we can see our referee, Jose Galdeo, congratulating Tom Parkinson and Nick Hatchett. A really fantastic win for them today in this Grade 2 tournament. Prize money and ranking points coming their way. A beautiful trophy for them as well. Really great run for them in this tournament. Smiles all round. The relatively new pairing recently, but they complement each other so well and both on such good form.
Is it not? So do I mind if you want?
Just getting their picture taken there by our referee, Jose. Down to him that this tournament ran so smoothly. It's such a credit to the work of the LTA as well to make sure the draws work, happen on time, the seeding's done correctly and people get their points. So a real congratulations once again, Tom Parkinson and Nick Hatchett, our men's champions here today. Now, round of applause is coming for Rosie Quirk and Chloe de la Mer as our runners up in the women's draw. A massive round of applause for them. Key members of the GB Junior team. And I can't wait to see them break into that senior position later on in the year, but it's time. Congratulations for the champions, Alice Keddy and Victoria Nicholas. Top seeds coming into this and they didn't disappoint. A really solid pairing with plenty of experience at home and abroad between this pair. Really chuffed with their trophies as well as their prize money. Once again, big congratulations. Alice Keddy and Victoria Nicholas.
The trophy and
women's
the prize
tour
money.
champions.
How much?
And as we close out the weekend then, massive congratulations.
But what's the sponsor?
Thank you to everyone who's come and played at Rocket Paddle in Ilford at this Grade 2
tournament,
by Paddle Tournaments UK. All of the team here at Rocket Paddle Ilford have helped this
Not
run so
many
smoothly.
now, we are doing more here,
All of the players and their supporters as
and
well.
then we will try to do some
And the
in
team
Bolsonaro as we bought the
At
club.
Paddle Tournaments UK,
Yeah.
Hannah Michael,
We bought the club.
alongside our cameraman Durga Mohammed and referee
it is,
Jose
but-
Galdeo. It's a small team, but a good team
No, it's not London.
that really makes these tournaments work and makes them special, and people keep coming back just to raise the profile and the quality of paddle in this country. And thanks for joining us
We're ready now?
on the stream.
Yeah, now yes.
There'll be much more of this to come as we continue to grow and continue to work in the future. And now the camera's on me and I'm not enjoying it. Not used to it being this way around. Turn around. But thank you from me as well. I've been Emily Kilmer on the commentary and hope you've enjoyed it and getting some more insight from the experts as well throughout the matches. Thanks to all of those as well, especially today. Had Frankie, Louis, Nikhil yesterday, Luke and Cam Gomez, and of course Sarah and Kerry. Hayden joined us as well on the bench. So a massive thank you to all of them as well. That's me signing off. That's the end. Thanks for joining us at Paddle Tournaments UK.
Well done.